Okay. I'd like to call the meeting to order. It is 7:30. And the first thing on our agenda, every time we say the Pledge of Allegiance. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's very good for Zoom. At this point, I would welcome public comments. Is there any member from the public here, Bill?
Yes, if any member of the public would like to make a comment, please press the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen. And Mr. Kerr has his hand raised, and I'll bring him in.
Hi, Scott.
Scott, you're muted.
Yeah, I think so.
There you go. Hey, Scott.
Good evening, everybody.
Hey, Scott.
I appreciate the opportunity to just talk for a couple of minutes. I really just felt compelled when I realized you guys were having a meeting to come here and speak in support of Cheryl and Kevin specifically, who have, I should open by saying my name is Scott Kerr. I live at 12 Lynbrook Road, and I'm on the board of the patrons of the Trumbull Nature and Arts Center, for the record. And I just, I've been involved with the center for 8 years or so, I think, and we've made so much progress over the last couple of years, largely due to the efforts of Cheryl and Kevin driving us forward. And we've really reached the point where we're beginning to be slightly limited by the facilities and what we can provide to families and schools as they come visit us. And it's really time, I think, for the town to pay a little more attention to our property and specifically the building. And I know that you guys are all in support of that, and that you're on our side when it comes to that topic. But I just, encourage you to make it the greatest priority you can, and partner with us however you can to, to get the town to maybe put aside some funds to make some of the necessary improvements to the building so that we can continue to do the great work that we are. So that's really, I just wanted to ask that of you, and although I know I'm preaching to the choir somewhat, but I wanted to go on the record. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Scott. Are there other comments from the public? Okay. We can move on to approving minutes. Jack and Olia, you were at the meeting, our last meeting in December, so we can approve. Or
I move that we approve the minutes as they are.
Great. Well, we need a second. Olia, you have to be the second.
I second that.
Thank you. Karen, as you'll see with our size there, we can get a little bit more creative now with the third member. So moving on in our agenda, we have old business. For those that are new, TNAC has just been approved, directed local funds state line item money of $75,000 over a period of 2 years. Wait, is that correct?
That's over. It's per year.
Per year. So it's $150,000 over 2 years. So 75 and 75. And then that will, that is renewable. And so at the end of that fiscal budget, they can apply for more. The butterfly garden and the sunflower garden update, along with the roof and flashing. I think that Cheryl, Cheryl mentioned a video that she had created with one of our lead educators that described a little bit of the property. And I think it's worth a watch, especially since we do have 2 members that are quite new to the organization. Cheryl,
Okay.
can you show that? And in that, can you also prime us with the progress on the butterfly garden and the sunflower garden?
Yeah, the sunflower garden is just right now, we took out the old fence, built a new fence, and late in spring, we'll be planting that. And then the butterfly garden, we're going to be talking about in this video. So if this works, we will try this. So let's see what I can do. Okay, all right. Oh, you know what? I think I have to take off my headphones. Sound to work. You hear me, right? Okay. Do you know? You don't hear me. Okay. So you don't hear me?
Cheryl, I can hear you. I can't hear any video.
I can hear
I
you.
did- Okay, good. I didn't play the video yet. Okay. So let me make sure this works. Play from start. Okay, you can see that? You can see, can you see the logo and providing hands-on environment? Yeah, okay, good. All right, so we're just gonna play this.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Bauman, Director of the Trumbull Nature and Art Center. I'm here with Mark Sineri, our lead environmental educator, and we're just gonna take you on a little tour of, we call it TNAC, talk about the various locations we have and the habitats. And first of all, we're going to start with the outdoor classroom. This outdoor classroom was built in 2019 using funds from that were donated by the Henkel Corporation and the American Academy of Dermatology. Mark, can you tell us a little bit something about how we use this outdoor classroom?
Yeah, so this outdoor classroom, it's open to the community. Anyone can use it, but it's a great spot for us to host programs, especially in the summertime when it's really hot, or if we have a field trip here and it happens to be raining, it's a great place to go for shelter. But we can bring all sorts of equipment under here, microscopes, anything for our pond ecology programs, animal homes and shelters, whatever it is we happen to be learning about. We can bring our materials back here. We have tables that fold up and benches so people can sit down. It's just a great spot to be outside, surrounded by nature and learn about nature.
Great, thanks. And I know that we also had a craft project here that we worked on last summer. It has many opportunities, and we're hoping that the community gets involved more. This is a great location to host various small events. So we're just going to move on right now. We're going to go to our meadow area, and we'll see you there. Okay, we're walking through our meadow area.
So the meadow is one of the many ecosystems that we have here at the Nature Center, and we're in the middle of doing a large rehabilitation project. Over the years, it's been neglected and filled in with lots of invasive species. So we recently had most of those species cut out, and we're going to be doing a lot of planting projects this year to enhance the meadow and make it better for wildlife.
And we'll continue to walk through. We're obviously filming this in winter, so that's where there's some snow left over. It's March now, so we're not quite green yet, but there are signs of spring starting to pop up. And here we have a major clearing that Mark's gonna talk to us about.
Yeah, it looks like devastation really isn't, because all of the plants that were removed were invasive species, namely autumn olive. That's one of the biggest problems that we had here at the Nature Center, and a lot of bittersweet and a lot of multiflora rose. So those 3 plants had pretty much taken over all of the other plants that were growing here. But now that we have these nice clear areas, we're going to do lots of planting of native grasses and native wildflowers, and then we'll be able to maintain it more easily with the big plants removed. And we can just kind of come in and hand pull each year all the invasives that will always continue to move into our habitat here.
Great, thanks for explaining that, Mark. I know that we also have a community planting event coming up in the spring, where we like to get lots of volunteers, gardeners, and families have offered to help, and we're looking forward to that as we continue on through this clearing area. Also over on our right, it looks like a lot of tall grasses and invasives, but we are going to clear that area out for the spring, and we actually have a 4th grade class coming where we bring in soil, and the kids bring the kids take the soil and we add some water to it, and they make something called Erosion Mountains. And Mark, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so one of the requirements is that the students need to learn about erosion, but all of the forces that dictate erosion. So wind and water and ice and just natural landslides. So after the students build a large mountain out of soil, we add water to it, and they'll see tributaries form and cascades. They'll see deltas. They'll see landslides. They'll use rocks. They'll use sod to kind of reinforce the area. So even though they essentially are playing in the mud, they are learning key concepts about erosion.
Yep, great. And that's just one of our programs that we offer. We also go into schools. We have our grade 2 program is very popular with Trumbull schools. We have at least 4 that we actually take our programs on the road sometimes. And this year we're going to 4 of the Trumbull schools and providing our 3 activities that the students rotate through. One is a beaver habitat, where they actually make a model using mud and sticks to make a model of a beaver dam. Another one is seed dispersal, to teach the kids about how seeds travel. Mark, want to tell us a little bit more, just a little bit more about grade 2?
Yeah, so we do the seed dispersal.
Oh, shoot, sorry. Just 1 second. Oh, no. Oh, gosh, hold on. Hi, all. 1 second.
And then we do a biodiversity walk
Sorry.
where we walk around the school property and we learn about the different habitats that they have on their property. And we learn a little bit about food webs and ecosystems and how plants and animals interact with each other. And it's important to note that, modern day nature centers, it's everything we teach is already part of the written school curriculum. We are just using the natural resources that we have to make it a little bit more interesting and a little bit more hands-on.
Right, we're called a non-formal, we provide non-formal environmental education. That means we're not part of the school system, but we do align. Yeah, we work closely with them. We align with it's called Next Generation Science Standards, which aims to provide a wow factor, a phenomena. That's how students learn, by having that extra hands-on element to the science. It's not just looking at a book and memorization. We actually get the kids hands-on and learning. Right now, we are right by our full circle playground. And this playground was funded, oh my gosh, it's over 10 years now. It was funded through the Sun Products Corporation, which is now the Henkel Corporation. They have been a partner of ours for several years now. They've been very generous in providing us with grants, and we are grateful to them. It was made out of recycled products that Trumbull students actually collected and sent in, and this was built, and also with help from the community in building it. It's very popular in the spring and summer. We're open dawn to dusk for families to come in and enjoy our trails and also our playground. I'm gonna swing around here. This is our butterfly garden. It was a monarch way station. There's absolutely nothing here right now because we are rebuilding it. Mark, can you tell me about it? It's going to be a nature interpretive garden. That is our plan.
Yeah, so this garden has come a long way over the years. There's been lots of gardens here at the Nature Center, but some of them have come and gone. But the last one that we had just gotten a little too overgrown with too many invasive species. So we removed the entire garden, and in the fall, we broke ground and put in a new one. So even though there aren't any plants in it right now, the hardest part is behind us. The soil was removed, new soil was brought in. We're just finishing up a fence and a gate, and it will all be planted this May with the growing season. But it will be an interpretive garden where people can go in, they can look at the names of the plants, they can maybe try them out in their own garden, with the idea of all of the species are to benefit pollinators, which are so important in our ecosystems. And we'll be certainly doing lots of educational programs around this garden as well.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Mark. And we're going to go meet you at the pond now. See you there. All right. So we're heading over to our pond. I don't think I mentioned it before, but we are on a little over 11 acres. We are And this is Trumbull property. It belongs to the town of Trumbull, but we, the patrons of the Trumbull Nature and Art Center, are a 501c3 organization, nonprofit. We fundraise for the center and we run our programs. Mark, why don't you tell us about the pond and what we do here?
Sure. So we're lucky enough to have a pond on our property. And besides being a beautiful backdrop for that property, it's an incredible ecosystem. It's a very healthy ecosystem, all different types of wildlife. And we certainly use it for many of our environmental studies programs. So pond ecology is a big thing that we do. When we have students come throughout the year, they will be given nets and buckets and microscopes, and they will come to the pond edge and we will collect all kinds of samples and specimens, and then we'll just learn about whatever it is they're finding and tie it into that particular program.
Yep, and Mark taught me all about invertebrates, and I now know about dragonfly larvae. They start in the water and then they emerge from the water. So
yeah, it's a very biologically active pond. It's quite healthy. So from here it flows under Route 25 and goes into the Quantic River.
Thanks. And I think we'll just, well, while we head on over to our maple tree, Mark, we're just gonna, so we are located on Route 25 Main Street in Trumbull, just on the edge of Monroe. And we're walking up now here to our sugar maple tree, which we just had trimmed today to make it, ensure that this over 150-year-old tree lasts a lot longer.
Yeah, we use this tree for, besides the fact that it's a beautiful backdrop, you know, for the front of the building, the picnic tables under it is where we do most of our programming because it's shady, it's a beautiful spot. And we do maple sugaring programs. We use this tree, we tap it, and we turn the sap into maple syrup. And yeah, we were just, as Cheryl was mentioning, we were lucky enough to get it pruned today and needed some much needed pruning to get rid of some damaged diseased wood and hopefully buy it a little bit more time. So we're trying to take as good care of it as we can.
All right, Mark, is there anything else you want to add? We do hope you come and visit us. Like I said, we are open dawn to dusk, and we also have seasonal programs throughout the year for families. We also now have a maple sugaring and a beekeeping program that we can take on the road. We take it to assisted living centers, libraries. We're even developing more programs. So look us up on the website, TrumbleNatureAndArtCenter.org. Shoot us an email, give us a call, and we'll provide all your environmental education needs.
All right, thanks for coming around.
Okay. Oh my God, so painful. It's so painful. That was one take, as you could tell. Oh God. Anyway.
Thanks for showing it to us, especially Karen. I don't know if you were when the last time you were on the property. At least you have a view of what it looks like now. And I'm really excited to see what the butterfly garden looks like. Wow.
Yeah, it's going to look a lot different than it did.
Yeah. Is there supposed to is the fence supposed to stay up around that garden?
Yeah, because we're going to keep the animals out that were going into and eating all the plants that will be their plant specimens. Yeah, it's going to be more protected than it was before.
Okay, that's great. And the meadow looks good.
Yeah, it's going to look much. I would trust me. We're going to redo that video, but we got it done. We got it done. I'll try to lower my voice, and yeah.
Well,
when it's greener in the spring and stuff, but it'll serve its purpose for now. So
yeah, that was a nice, great little video intro for people. Are you going to show that to the Rotary?
Yes, we going to be presenting to the Rotary Club on April 1st, and the Trumbull Rotary Club. So I will be playing that and cringing at the same time. And yeah, so
okay.
That's that. Thank you. I'll just crawl under my desk now.
Well, thank you for sharing it with us. That was very nice of you. Okay. So I saw it when they were showing the video of the maple tree in the background. You saw another fence. That's where the sunflower garden is. That sunflower garden is where, you can guess it, the sunflowers grow. And every fall there is a program that Cheryl does that you do an art project with it.
Yeah,
a bird feeder.
We grow the mammoth sunflower heads, and families come and they harvest the heads, and they cut the heads and then they harvest the seeds out of them, and we do a craft and tell them how to use the seeds and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so everything gets used on the property. As new business, as we're moving, sorry. I skipped over the roof and the flashing.
Oh,
The roof and the flashing have not been addressed, but I'm going to talk more about that in new business, and Jack can help me with that. As we identified, we have a new commissioner as of tonight, Miss Karen Laraca. Thank you. And we welcome back Olia Yelner, who was newly appointed in December. So thank you both for joining us again. When we move forward to the building and grounds, now we are all gearing up for our budget hearing, which is going to be next Tuesday, the 22nd. Our slot is 3:45 to 4:45.
no, 4 o'clock, 15 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Our slot is at 4 o'clock. Thank you.
No,
Cheryl.
3:45 to 4 o'clock.
Oh, I'm sorry. 3:45 to 4 o'clock.
Right.
Let me be very clear. The TNAC budget hearing is 3:45 to 4 p.m. Just for the record. I on February 2nd reached out to key town representatives, Vicky and Maria and Cindy, to explore town funding options. In that, I had requested more information on ARPA funding, which is relief effort funding to help with grounds. In our case, it would be with grounds. From that email, we exchanged and determined 4 key items to be reviewed. And that email, the person who's going to come up with the budgets is George Estrada. George Estrada is in charge of building and grounds. And the 4 items that Cheryl Bauman and Kevin Malone helped identify as the most key items for this year to address would be 1, the retaining wall by the lower garage. The budget would be to identify the removal and the regrade. To address the handicap access ramp, inspect, repair, and or replace per previous discussion. This has been in, just for Karen's sake, we've been in conversation with the fact that these items need to be addressed. Also, items such as roof inspection and replacement. And then consideration for the exterior doors. And George is in the process of identifying those budget items. Jack, have you been able to speak with George?
I have not. The last email I received, he thought he was going to be able to do the retaining wall with his own equipment, and now he doesn't think so after further consideration. So he was going to have to work up a budget. That was the last email that I've seen from him.
Okay. Would you be able to follow up with him prior to Tuesday, the 22nd?
Yes. I will shoot him an email tomorrow or a Thursday.
That would be great. It would just be nice to know where he is in identifying those budgets.
Yes.
Another question that the commission could consider, and I think really we really do need to consider, and Jack, if you could ask too, is where is the budget going to come? You know, will it come out of TNAC, or will there be extra line item for TNAC in Georgia's budget for building and grounds?
Okay.
And so that is very major and new news. Does anyone else have any new news? Okay, crickets. Crickets.
Um,
All right.
okay,
Well then.
Wait.
Oh,
Can I see
Cheryl
the-
had her hand up.
I have my hand up. So we're getting it out of, the report came late, right? So I'm going to, we're
Oh.
getting new street sign. Yeah, that's so if you drive by 25, there's no sign there now. There's just 2 posts. There's my little handwritten sign that says new sign coming soon. So it's being redone. And instead of those ugly little letters that slide in, it's going to be pre-made messages that are going to be sliding in that we could change a few times a year. It's so, and so it'll look nicer than it did. So on that gateway to Trumbull, you'll see the beautiful Trumbull sign, TNAC sign, and we'll put some annual flowers there during our volunteer day.
That's great. And that's coming out of the line item money. I
Yes,
think it's important
patrons.
to note
Yes,
for
yes.
new commissioners that the line item money is cannot be used for capital improvements. So the 4 items that we are seeking ARPA funding for are considered to be capital improvement because of how long they last. A new sign only lasts for however the elements allow. It's not permanent like a new ramp or getting rid of a retaining wall. Just to provide that clarification that the state through that funding does not provide for capital improvement.
Mhm. Right, and the patrons also paid for all of we were allowed to do the clearing of the meadow using those funds. We also took down trees. There was, I don't know, Emily, if you remember, but there was this huge dead spruce tree near the pond to the left of the building. We took that out the other day, and
That's great.
we're taking care, like I said in the video, the maple tree was trimmed and it's actually going to be fertilized at the end of April. So we've spent a good amount of the state funding on those grounds improvements. Yeah, and the 2 new gardens, yeah.
Mhm. And nature items have the potential of regrowth, the
Right, exactly.
likely the insurance that of regrowth.
Yeah.
So that's why that's not considered a capital improvement.
Yeah, and I specifically asked the question of the state, and that's what they said. They said, yes, it's allowable. Mhm.
So
Um,
any other updates?
We have some fun new programs coming. I don't know if you want to talk about.
Would
So
the
we-
commission like to learn about the programs?
I'll talk fast.
Okay.
So in April, we have TNAC Trail Tales, where we're going to take pages of a book. Wait, I don't know if I ever showed you this. Little Mole Finds, oh, wait, there we go. Little Mole Finds Hope. And we're having, because it's about the sad mole and for whatever reasons. And then, so we're going to have the Trumbull Counseling Center come, the Mary Sherlock Counseling Center, Robin Bieber from there. She's going to be coming and talking with, it's for preschoolers, talking with them and their families afterwards about their feelings. It's how to find hope when there's sadness like we have going on in this world. And T-Pod will also be there, and they're giving out a mental health coloring book. The counseling center is giving out a mental health book, how to handle your feelings. So we're doing that. And we're going to have an Earth Day program on April 16th, and then a collaborative program with Trumbull Library on the 23rd. And we're doing a new program we're developing over the summer to hopefully to initiate in the fall, is our Science Adventure Passport program. And that is aimed at increasing visitors to the center, and it's going to be advertised throughout the state. It's a destination. It'll be sort of like I don't want to say escape room, but you get this little suitcase, and it has all these and a little passport, and you stop at various locations on the trails, and you do these little science experiments, and then at the end you get your passport stamped. And it's just this cool thing for families to get outside and learn about science. So yeah, that's a little summary, and in addition to everything else, but those are some highlights.
That's cool. Thank you. All right. Anyone else? Nope. Well, with that, can I have a motion to adjourn? You're on mute.
Motion to adjourn.
I will second that.
It's 8 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.